Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, many things to mention as usual, because yes, the transfer window has just closed, but we have more to say. There are always breaking news. We're always bringing you behind the scenes of the news, and so let's jump into it together. And guys, we have to start with the big news, the big story of the day, and this is the one regarding Daniel Levy, the chairman of Tottenham, who has decided to step down from his role at Tottenham Hotspur. A big bomb at the end of an era. 24 years at the club for Daniel Levy. Well, it's over after many strong messages in the recent years by Tottenham fans, very strong at the stadium, outside the stadium, on social media, everywhere. The movement of many Tottenham fans asking for Daniel Levy to go. Now there is an official statement. Daniel Levy leaves Tottenham with immediate effect after being very present in the summer transfer window, because Daniel Levy was involved in all the big operations and deals made by Tottenham, incomings, outgoings, always involved till the very final minute of the transfer window, because it was Daniel Levy taking care, also part of the negotiations in very good relationships with Paris Saint-Germain for Randal Colomwani to join the club at the end of the transfer window. But now he's gone. And so a new era is starting at Tottenham. We will be following, obviously, everything, but this is a big story. Daniel Levy not being Tottenham chairman anymore, obviously, is a big story, and is going to have important consequences for the future of the club. So the shocking decision of the day, Daniel Levy leaves Tottenham. I'm receiving also many questions, guys, to clarify the situation of some players who have been in the rumors for the summer transfer window, but didn't move. And I'm gonna touch on this for tonight's video. First, I want to mention Lautaro Martínez. Because for Lautaro Martínez, we had reports about Newcastle in the final days of the transfer window. We know that Newcastle always had this idea to sign two players to replace Alexander Isak, two strikers. One was Nick Foltemade, seen as the player for present and future, and then one more striker, maybe more experienced, but also ready to make an impact immediately in the Premier League. Many questions arrived about the situation of Lautaro Martínez. We had many reports about this story. Guys, I can guarantee that Newcastle never made any sort of contact for Lautaro Martínez, just because they know that Lautaro Martínez was never going to leave Inter in this summer transfer window. He's the captain. He extended the contract around 1 year ago. He's considered a super important player by the club. He's the symbol of the project, and so was pointless to try go and get Lautaro Martínez, even with big money on the table. In the final days of the window, Lautaro never wanted to change. Also, in the past, he had the possibility to go to Premier League with interest from Tottenham, interest from Arsenal, also in La Liga, Atletico Madrid, and more clubs. Barcelona, you remember in summer 2020, Lautaro always had many possibilities, but never really wanted to make a move. And so there were no conditions to make this happen, and also with Newcastle was never a concrete option, and they are more than happy with Foltemade and with Yoane Wissa as new signings up front in this summer transfer window. A player they wanted from Inter was Davide Frattesi. In that case, there was a negotiation, a conversation. Then Newcastle decided to invest that money on Ramsey. So they considered Frattesi at the beginning of August. He was a target for Newcastle, but then the deal didn't advance because of this, because they decided to invest on Ramsey. And then it's important to mention that Frattesi was just an idea in the final days of the summer transfer window, but just in one case. If the injuries of Joelinton, but especially Tonali after the Liverpool game, were serious, in that case, no, luckily for Newcastle, and so they didn't make any sort of new contact for Davide Frattesi. Important to mention also Casado, guys. We had many questions on Marc Casadó and this situation at Barcelona, because obviously Marc Casadó is an important player, and I can guarantee, guys, that this summer several clubs tried to enter the race and sign Marc Casadó from Barca, especially from Premier League. Two Premier League clubs. One was Wolverhampton, and the other one I can't reveal. But two Premier League clubs, the other one was quite an important one, wanted to go and get Marc Casadó. From Barcelona was a no. Barca didn't want to sell Casado or Fermin. Barca, since they signed Marcus Rashford, sent a very clear message. This is the squad for us. We don't want to touch any player. The only option for the players to go is if these players decide to come and say, okay, I want to go, I want to leave the club, I want to go elsewhere. But Casado never did that. So Casado is more than happy to stay at Barcelona, at least now. Then if the future will change, I will be mentioning to you. And really similar to Fermin Lopez, never indicating to Barcelona any desire to leave the club, any desire to change, so the situation was completely quiet for Marc Casadó in terms of player side. There was strong interest from Premier League, again, because they were prepared to pay even more than 35-40 million euros for Marc Casadó. But again, for Barcelona, for the player, was not a topic, and this is why this story didn't really develop. This is why also during the summer I never mentioned this on my social media platform, because from what I heard, Casado was never really close to making this move happen, especially because of his desire, of his plans. Keep an eye on Casemiro for 2026, because this summer Casemiro was never really close to leaving Manchester United. There were some calls from Saudi around May, but then never a concrete proposal. We had reports also about Al Ittihad, but what I'm told is that Al Ittihad never made a bid in July or August when we had stories about Casemiro. But for 2026, I think there is a concrete chance to see Casemiro leaving Manchester United. This could be the final season for Casemiro in a European high level, and maybe trying for something different from 2026. This is not something decided, this is not something guaranteed, but from what I'm hearing in the industry, there is a feeling that Casemiro might decide to take a different step from 2026. Also for Manchester United, he remains an important player, but also on a big salary, and so to save that salary in 2026 could be also important for Manchester United in terms of financial fair play, waiting to see if they will be in Europe, which kind of European competition. So obviously we are at the beginning of this season, but Casemiro will be one to watch for 2026. What I can guarantee now is that Casemiro is fully focused on Manchester United. He never wanted to go this summer. Casemiro was not encouraging any negotiation with Saudi clubs. Casemiro was very happy to stay at United, to continue in this project even without European football, full focus on the Red Devils, and then in 2026 we will see. Many questions also on Vinicius, guys, because this summer at some point we had strong rumors from Saudi. Well, I can confirm that from Saudi they would love to bring in Vinicius Jr. one day. The deal makers in Saudi Pro League really dream on the opportunity to bring a top player like Vinicius one day to Saudi. But this summer was never a negotiation. There was never a bid to Real Madrid, never a direct negotiation, never a proposal to the player. There was an idea of proposal. It means not a text, not a written proposal, not a guaranteed money, but just some conversations from Saudi to explore the possibility to go for Vinicius, but it never became a negotiation because Vinicius is completely and only focused on Real Madrid. So Vini didn't want to leave Real Madrid this summer. Real Madrid never considered to let Vinicius go this summer, so the situation was absolutely quiet. Now, one of the big topics we will have to discuss in the next months is going to be about the contract of Vinicius Jr. That is going to be important. That is going to be really something to follow, because obviously this is a big topic. But at the moment from Saudi, I can confirm the interest, I can confirm the appreciation, always been there for the last 2-3 years, but not an official bid this summer, not an advanced negotiation, nor any desire, at least now in 2025, from Vinicius Jr. to leave the highest level of European football and go to Saudi Pro League. So everything under control for Real Madrid. Then now we will follow the new contract discussion. And so guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Daniel Levy, Tottenham fans, your reaction, and then Vinicius, Casemiro, Casado, the situation of Lautaro Martínez. Well, many things to say. I wait for your opinion, guys. Here in the comments, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon, here with Fabrizio. Ciao!